Hi everyone, welcome to the Doghouse of Mills Animal Hospital. My name is Elijah Holman. Today I am joined by Nia Morgan, Lily Reed, and Kayla Weeks.
Hey guys.
Hello.
So this is going to be the first of some of our many tech talks, where we just bring technicians on, we tell stories, we give tips and we can remember them, and yeah. So everyone go around and say how long you've been in the field, because I think we've all, between the four of us, we have a good bit of years. So I've been in the field 7 years now. I've been at Mills Animal Hospital for 4 of those years now. Yeah.
This is Naya. I've been in the field for about 7 to 8 years, but worked for Mills Animal Hospital for going on 3 years now. So it's a nice experience.
This is Kayla. I've been in the field 10 years this year, so going on 11, and I've been at Mills for right at a year.
This is Lily. I have been doing this for about almost 4, if not 4 years, and been at Mills for about a year.
Yeah. I know some of us definitely grew up around the field, mainly Kayla and Lily, kind of siblings and relatives and all that stuff in the field and stuff. But last week our episode was kind of like Dr. Mills getting into how she got in the field and everything. So this week it is just introducing some of our technicians and, like I said, just us telling stories, talking about the field and stuff. So,
Well, Lily, what got you into it?
So I first started when I was probably like 3 or 4, running around my uncle's clinic in Skechers, light up Skechers to be exact. Like, clients would remember me as the light up Sketcher girl. I would run up and down. Yeah. I had scrubs bigger than you can imagine, and yeah. But my uncle is what started me in this field. He had his own clan of hospitals in Cobb County, but really what got me started was going to adoption events every weekend, because he had his own rescue. And then, from before I could remember, I've always said, I want to be a veterinarian. And yeah,
Was
here I
his
am.
hospitals just dogs and cats?
Yes, but he used to have a doctor that would see wildlife. So there's a picture of me somewhere, like 6 years old, holding a baby deer.
Aww.
And we were feeding her. It was probably like the coolest little thing ever. I'd go to school and be like, I fed a deer!
and then the funny part about the deer thing is that the house she lives in right now, she has a big deer feeder out back that her family does, and they restock all the time.
They go about through 200 pounds of corn in 1 week.
Yeah.
Nice.
Golly, that's a lot of
Yeah.
But to be fair, there's like 4 or 5
I
deer
would
that
say
come?
more at this point.
More? I don't
Are you
know.
saying no where
There's a whole flock.
You
Yeah.
know where
You
it's
should try to
at?
hold them.
Yeah. Come here.
We'll recreate 6-year-old Lily.
It may end up a little differently, but... Alright, Kayla, what about you?
So I actually got into the field. So my sister is the practice manager here, and she was working.
Shut up, Megan!
she was working at another clinic. She was actually in the kennel at the time, and it was privately owned back then. And I would go with her on her kennel shifts because the manager said it was okay and the owner didn't care. I was probably 14 or 15, in high school, and I would go with her on the weekends, Christmas, whatever shift she had to work, walk dogs, feed dogs, all that kind of stuff. So then I eventually started working like holidays and weekends and school breaks and all that kind of stuff. And then when I graduated high school, I started there full time and eventually went into reception and then teching, and now 10 years later I'm still doing it.
Yeah, that's all she wrote.
Exactly.
What got you started in the field now?
I've always just loved animals. For some reason, always had some sort of connection with them. So my parents had a friend, they put me onto it, and since then, it was always been like a natural instinct thing. Just go ahead and take care of them.
The funny part is, though, is that the clinic you were coming from, we've talked about this before, I literally, like, before I ever knew you, I lived where I could walk to that clinic and stuff. And my friends' dogs at the time, they were taking them to that clinic and everything. So it's always funny because it's a small world.
You always know that.
Small
clinic.
world, for
Always
sure.
know that
Yeah.
clinic.
Doesn't she know one of your friends?
She remembered the dog, but she didn't remember the people and stuff, the little Yorkie. But, yeah.
So it always is for me. I'm sorry.
I remember your dog when I don't
Yeah,
remember you.
I feel like that's how it is for most technicians. Like, don't get me wrong, we have our owners that we love and everything, but I would say 9 out of 10, I'm going to remember your animal first,
Yep.
and then I'm going to remember you.
So I
Yep.
feel like this Publix here by work, because I worked at that clinic down the street, and then I work here, so I'll walk in Publix and I'm like, I know that. Your dog's name is so and so, but what's their last name? Like, I can't remember. I see people all the time.
And then when she can't figure out the dog's name, she's like, "What's that dog's name? I just know it."
Well, or like you look at the owner and you see the owner and all you remember is the dog's name. You cannot remember their name to save their life. You're just like, that's Fluffy's parents.
Dad. Yep, there goes Dad.
Okay, Elijah, what about you?
Elijah?
I got started. So, went to college, decided I didn't want to be a history teacher anymore. So I
I don't
did
blame you.
pre-vet as a major because I was like, screw it, why not? And then I fell in love with the field. I started working in the field and then decided, you know what, I love my position as a vet tech because I had worked my way up from kennel to vet tech and stuff as I was getting experience for my degree. I decided I did not want to be a veterinarian anymore because me and school don't mix. And
Same.
4 more years of vet school on top of paying for vet school did not appeal to me. So I said, you know what? I'm going to be a tech. And 7 years later, here I am. So,
Still loving it?
yeah.
Oh, I think that is.
I mean, I'm
good.
finishing my RVT certification, so
Yeah, that's really good. That's really
I'm trying to.
good. Yeah, everybody.
I enrolled in school almost 3 years ago, and I'm not even through the first semester. Oopsies.
I'll come back. Maybe.
They've kicked me out now at this point.
So yeah, I mean, I've been around 7 years now. Luckily, not driving an hour and a half to work anymore.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Thank the
I've
Lord.
never had a commute longer than 15 minutes.
Yeah,
Lucky.
I can't say the
Well,
same.
going back and forth to Marietta, it's 30. But
So-
okay, I've never had a commute longer than 30 minutes.
No. Kind of talking from a technician's standpoint, because I know, like, so we're all here at Mills, and we've always kind of said how Mills does things differently and stuff. But, like, talking from a technician's standpoint, what do y'all like about here?
Wow, it caught me off guard.
I know.
I like the family feel. It actually feels like there
Yes.
is a work-life balance. I don't really like those words, but work-life balance. Like, for real, we can get off early. If we need a day off last minute, we can get it. Usually
Consideration.
we get off almost always on time. Our Saturday shifts don't run crazy long. Like, there's actually a balance.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like I see my family more now than I ever have.
I was about to say,
True.
tonight was the first night that I've stayed, like, past closing time in a while, and that's just because we had sick patients that needed to be taken care of and ultrasounds that needed to be done and stuff like that, so.
It's all followed up with understood reasons, so that's good. Yeah.
I think it's just as simple as I have not had a nightmare about this place. I guess I'm doing something right.
It's very true. I mean, my experience, it made me feel like I actually knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
More
I
confident
love
here.
that. Yes, I built up a lot of confidence here. And felt very welcomed and understood. So that's the biggest difference out of all the clinics I worked at.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I think that the work-life balance, oh Lord, can I speak, is good here because they're very respectful one of our time when we're not on the clock, but then also like making sure, hey, that we're not going burnt out crazy, because I think that's why a lot of technicians end up coming here.
Or
Or leaving the field and stuff is because it is a field with a very heavy burnout rate, especially for that position and stuff. I think everyone that's ever come through here and stuff has always said, "Hey, I'm coming from the field and everything, and coming for X, Y, and Z
Never thought
reasons."
they would still stay in the field.
I mean, that's what I've always said. Is when I left my last clinic, I wasn't planning on getting back in the field and stuff. I was gonna go do computer science stuff or whatever, and then I needed a job. It was right after COVID, and so I said, "Well, this is the only thing I have on my resume, so I'll do this for like."
That's exactly how it goes.
Well, I was like, I'll do it for like 6 months while I'm kind of getting school organized and stuff to do computer science, and then leave again, and then that was 3 years ago. And I am no longer doing computer science.
I said when I started here, if this clinic doesn't work out, I'm doing something else.
That's exactly what I said.
Kayla's dream job is to be a mortician. This is just a cover up.
It's true. I like funerals.
Oh Lord!
Have you ever heard
We don't
someone say, "I like funerals"?
Yeah, we can't explain that one. what goes on inside her head sometimes, we all question. This is the same technician that will collect, like,
I have.
what all do you have?
I have teeth. I have.
Your kitten leg.
I have a 6-week-old amputated kitten front leg in a jar. Bladder stones. Anything you could think
Add on
of.
to the collection. We got you.
Dr. Moran really judges me when I'm like, "Hey, can I have that tooth?" I tried to take home. Remember when we amputated that cat leg?
The baby.
No, can't remember his name right now. But I was like, "Can you think this will fit in a jar?" Dr. Moran was like, "No."
I'm not doing that.
For a while here, we had that the dog that ate gravel and stuff. This was before. Really before any of us were here. I was the closest
We
one.
kept it, yeah.
But it was in every single exam room. There was a pill vial at the top.
Full
Of gravel and
I love
stuff. And everything.
that heartworm, where the heartworm
Oh, yeah,
infested
it's up there
heart.
at the top.
That's
Dr.
cool.
Nelson's about to lose
That
that.
was really cool. That was really cool.
Is Nelson the one that brought that in?
Yeah, it's
Yep.
Dr. Nelson's.
Yeah,
He's
no,
about
no.
to lose it.
It's so creepy looking.
It's like full of heartworms.
I'm gonna start bringing that into clients. Do you want your dog to have this? No. The answer is no.
He's about to lose it. It's about to be mine.
I will say I've never met such an emotionally open crew
Yeah.
as I do here. Like it's outstanding how many people we keep finding that just fits right in and just emotionally open, and because they're emotionally open they get more understood by the other people.
Yeah.
So that's beautiful.
And I know, like, a lot of people say, "Oh, my workplace is like my family. My workplace." No, like ours, like, really is. Like we hang outside all the time, or outside of work all the time.
Right.
I feel like if it's not all of us, it's a few of us here, a few of us there.
Yeah.
I mean, I know there's a bunch of us that came from another clinic, so we were already close, but I feel like we were really accepted as outsiders coming in all at once.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
I could agree to that.
Well, and I think it also reflects, like, in our turnover rate. Because we don't have a high turnover rate compared to a lot of clinics and stuff. I mean, yeah, some people that come and go, but that's any workplace position.
Right.
Yeah, that's anywhere, especially in this field.
Yeah.
Right. No, I'm infamous. You know, I love some anal gland expressing.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, here
Lord.
we go.
It's so uncomfortable. I hate doing anal glands with you. I hate
I
it.
try not to, but it's my own piece, okay? But I have yet to experience anal glands on my face. Like
No, it's one of the
anywhere
worst
was
experiences you'll ever
traumatic.
I
have.
haven't yet. Like, I've got it on my pants, or
Yes.
like a dog gets anxious and expresses that. Like, I've got it on my pants, I've got it on my shirt.
Right.
It has never hit, like, my skin.
Anywhere is direct. Yes.
One time, I had it hit, like, from jaw here, like,
Down
all
your
on
neck?
my
Oh,
neck,
gosh.
down my neck.
That was
And
close
it,
call.
and it ran, I'll be honest, it ran down the front of the scrub shirt, and my skin crawled on everything. I was like, and everything, because it was it was my favorite breed. It was a husky. That
Red flag.
That's
was-
Liza's red flag.
that was jumping while we were doing it. and he jumped, and as he jumped, he freaking did it so it hit up instead of like coming like.
See, that's why you guys will see me
Yeah.
standing to the side. I will never be behind a tail when I lift it.
Wow.
I'm always way over to the side. What's your funniest or worst or most memorable, anal gland story?
Didn't even happen to me.
Mine didn't either.
It was another technician that was helping me, and I felt so bad for her. She was doing the anal gland expression. She was standing off to the side, but another aggressive dog had kind of gotten to her right, so she had to step away.
Mm-hmm.
So she had to step behind the dog that she's doing anal glands to, right as it expressed and it shot out, and it got in her mouth.
Oh, God.
No.
She went immediately home. Like, that was just end of the day. My manager looked at her. She was so kind and was just like,
Just
please,
go home.
just go. Like, take
Brush
whatever,
your
do whatever you need to
55
do.
times.
Like, I felt so
Just
bad
gargle
for
some
her.
bleach.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh, right?
Yeah.
I could never brush my teeth in mouth.
Yeah.
So the clinic that me and Lily both used to work at, there was this guy that worked with us for a short time, and I believe he was the one doing the anal glands, correct?
I think so, yeah. I know where
And
you're going with this.
it's so disgusting. And he expressed them, and he was like straight up looking at the dogs.
Oh,
And
So-
it went in his eyeballs.
So, anal gland 101, don't do that.
yes.
It went in his eyeballs. He had to go to the eye wash station. Oh, it was so bad. I was like, see? This is why you don't stand right behind him.
Did you get pink eye after that?
I don't think so.
No.
Oh,
we need to
man.
ask him.
I bet you could. For those that like don't know what we're talking about, dogs have. Yes, I'm gonna do the explanation real quick. Dogs have two like gland sacs right around their rear and stuff, and it's supposed to be like a marking thing and stuff.
They're supposed to express when they poop.
Yeah, it's supposed to express when they poop, so that way they mark their territory. Well, domestic dogs don't. They don't need that and stuff, and some dogs can't express them when they poop. Sometimes it's stool consistency, sometimes it's allergies, a million reasons. So we will go in and manually express them, and it's just gross.
It just smells like...
If need be, though. Don't
Yeah.
think it's
It's if
yeah.
need be.
It's not a have to.
Right.
My
Oh,
dog.
yeah, no.
Because the more you do it, the worse it can make it as well,
Right.
Yeah.
and stuff. But
I love a good anal gland removal surgery, though.
Dr. Nelson?
I'm about to say we have Dr. Nelson on speed dial for
Call
that.
the butt specialist.
What's
He
that?
loves it.
Doctor for Despicable? What
What?
do y'all call him?
Oh, Dr. Nefario. I call him Dr. Nefario from Despicable Me. He hates it.
Let's call up Dr. Nefario.
Yep. Paging Dr. Nefario. I need you to do your butt surgery for the day.
What's a butt doctor called? Oh,
Oh,
I can't remember. I'll have to look it
I
up. We'll
have
be
no
like
idea.
paging Dr. Nefario, comma,
Yes.
insert butt doctor name.
Yes, I support it, please. There was actually one story, completely, like, it's about butts. But
Proctologist.
Proctologist.
There
I
you
knew
go.
it was something with the P.
So, this girl had to get, I guess, her stomach pumped, basically. So they had to clear out all the bowels. And her friend wanted to be present during the whole thing, and the doctor was like, "Are you sure? Because usually, like, this goes a little sideways, and I don't think you're going to want to watch it." So she was like, "No, I'm here for my friend."
Oh, gosh.
They put the tube in, they go ahead and start removing the bowels. They dump it in a bucket. So it goes out the tube and out into a bucket. Friend steps over, looks at it, instantly passes out, but lands in the poop.
Oh!
I was like, oh, no, please.
It was like that day. Oh gosh, what surgery were we doing? It was Dr. Moran, and he had to stick that huge tube down the dog's throat and suck on the end of it to clear the stomach contaminants. I was like, if that gets in your mouth, I'm going to die. And I sat in surgery with my shirt pulled up over my nose the whole time because it was awful. It was so bad.
And we were essentially pumping that dog's stomach.
Yeah, pretty much. But he stuck the tube down in there and gave it a good suck to get it going. And I was like, oh, God.
You and I were doing that.
Die.
Oh.
That was you and me in there. Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to die if that gets in your mouth. I'm going home. I can't with that.
You have a story, Lily? Any story. You don't even have to be anal glands.
Not just something
Yeah.
disgusting.
We can-
I don't know if I have a good anal gland
Or
story.
even just something like generally disgusting. We've kind of left the anal glands.
Never had pee in your mouth.
Oh,
No.
a dog peed in my mouth once.
I've never had
Oh
that.
my gosh.
Never had that either.
I've had it accidentally kicked on me
Okay.
That's
From
the worst when
when
our
we-
tail hits it. Or
when we
something.
collect it, and a girl I was with when we were trying to collect it accidentally stepped on the pan and
Oh, see, that's even worse though, because you lose your sample.
Exactly.
Neat.
And then you're just
Like
peeved.
that's the annoying
Thankfully-
part.
Thankfully, I had a little bit left, and I was able to run it. But
Oh no.
I don't know if I have like a ewy gory story.
Yeah. No, it'll come with time, I promise.
What is the weirdest thing you've ever seen from an exploratory, or the coolest?
Honestly,
I mean, you always have your basic, like your rope
underwear and stuff.
underwear, rope
Rope toys.
toys.
Yeah.
the pacifiers.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like 20
There-
or more.
Yeah, there was a
pacifiers.
dog.
Oh my gosh.
This was this before
I
Yeah, it's
think
before
Yeah.
they came.
I remember hearing
it
about
ate like 20 or 30 pacifiers. Apparently got into like
a whole pack of
a
them.
pack of them or whatever and ate them all.
That's disgusting.
So we're just sitting there pulling out pacifiers one by one.
We had,
They're full.
we had a cat at the other clinic that I worked at. He ate like 35 hair ties, and they were all just like in a ball. And it wasn't a cat. It was crazy. And then, you know, you've got your typical like underwear, socks.
Yeah.
And then what was the other one? It was like a tennis ball sized bouncy ball looking thing, but it was covered in, it looked like a monkey face. So when the doctor I was doing surgery with pulled it out, I couldn't help but laugh because it was this face staring at us in the ball
Oh.
when she took it out.
No, I had that once where it was just really young dog, 1 year old. He ate like the child's toy,
Mm-hmm.
and we got the toy out. And of course, nobody wants this back. The child wanted the toy back,
Oh no.
Oh,
and like mom knew. Mom explained it to her. The child's like, "I'm not leaving without my toy." So mom, luckily dad showed up, and they pulled it off. It was funny to watch because dad showed up, had just went to the store and bought the same toy.
Yes.
Showed up and said, "Oh, your toy was in my car." Like,
Yes,
not even like I
please.
bought you a new one and
Oh,
stuff. Just,
my-
"Oh, your toy was in my car. Here you go." And the child was just like, "Okay."
Like, no, listen, little Timmy, you're not getting the toy. That's disgusting.
Honestly, if it was found in the dog in the first place, you don't need a new one.
Exactly.
You don't need the new toy.
No, I feel like the pacifiers was probably like one of my up there ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that,
Not-
like the 35 hair ties.
3 whole tennis balls,
3 whole
Oh.
tennis balls.
not chewed up.
How
Whole.
do they swallow this
It
stuff?
was on a mastiff.
Just like that rope toy we did a couple weeks ago, it was like a foot long.
Yeah.
How did
And
they
a
swallow that whole?
GSP puppy,
Yeah, she
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
only like 6 months
She
old or
was-
something,
yeah.
and she was
baby,
15.
baby.
No, see, mine was a mastiff, like a full-grown
That makes
year
more
and a half
sense.
old mastiff, and it was 3 whole, like not chewed on at all, tennis balls.
That makes more sense that it was a mastiff.
Yeah.
I have 2 that I remember from watching my uncle do surgeries. Not as much as it was an exploratory, it kind of, sort of was. But we had a dog that got shot by a bow and arrow,
Ooh.
and he had to quite literally break it in half. The
Pull it
external
the rest of the way
part,
through.
but he had
Yeah.
to surgically open her and retrieve the second half because it got stuck.
Oh gosh.
Another
Yeah.
time, he pulled out, like, you know, the duck toys you can get at the store that, you know, squeak
water
so.
toys, yeah.
Yeah, they're so obnoxious or whatever. He pulled out the duck's face, the beak, and then, like, the little webbed feet.
Where was the rest of that? Is that all he ate?
Right.
He didn't eat the whole
He
duck.
said,
He
"I
just
don't
ate
want
its
that.
extremities. I don't want
You
the breath
suffer in
and stuff. I
silence.
just want the extremities.
He was saving the stuff with the squeaker for later.
Gosh.
I don't know. That is weird, though. That's like to sit there and just imagine that whole thing being swallowed. Like, what?
I know.
Do you not?
Because that rope toy was not small.
No, the one we just did a couple weeks ago. It was not. It was literally like a foot long.
You want to be honest? You stretch it out. It was about the size of the dog from tip to tail.
It was that was huge, and it wasn't even the only thing they pulled out.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of other stuff in there.
There was a rope toy. There was
Like a sock or something too.
There was a couple hair ties. I thought
There was
too.
all
Like,
kinds of
I
stuff.
think that
She was
dog
just
was on
eating
a mission
stuff.
for
There was
something
all
else.
kinds of stuff.
But the funny thing is, I
Can
don't.
we talk about what they thought she ate?
What was it they thought she ate? I can't remember.
Tampon.
Oh yeah, they
Oh,
thought she
yes,
ate.
that's
That was the
right.
used tampon dog, so I was nervous
That's
them going in there. They thought she ate a couple.
That's
of
not
tampons.
uncommon though. Dogs are
No, it's just dogs are
they're into
disgusting.
that.
Yeah.
They're
Dogs are
into
disgusting.
that.
Floor toys are always one of those fascinating.
Yeah, cats is always like
It
hair
is.
ties, yarn, that kind of stuff.
Right.
Dogs are like used tampons,
Yup.
condoms, like
Underwear. Yup.
underwear.
Yup.
Like dogs are so weird.
Yeah, no. But Explorer is always one of those interesting surgeries because you never know what you're getting into.
No, you don't. They're
You
like,
all
I think
place
they
your
ate this, and
bets.
you get in there
Yup.
and you're like, that was not
Not
what you
that.
thought it was.
And it's always fun calling the owner like, "Hey, are you missing such and such item?" And you're holding it in your hand like.
Oh yeah, you're right. I am missing that. I didn't even realize.
I assumed it was my husband, but
My favorite stories are when they come in and they're like, okay, this is the pair of underwear we found, and the wife's like, those aren't my underwear. You know, those are my favorite kind of stories to hear. I'm like,
That meant wrong.
yeah.
how do you handle that situation?
I would just walk out.
Yeah.
I think
That's
I
not
would
my relationship. I would leave the room.
I did
Let
my
you guys
job.
figure this out. The underwear out, by the
I'll
way.
take the dog to room 2. Y'all can do marriage counseling in room 3. We'll be good to go.
Those are my favorite stories to hear. I'm like, ooh,
Oh my god.
I don't know what I would do.
That happens all the time though.
I know.
The
I feel like
miscommunication. Yeah.
relationships.
That's
a whole other episode.
Don't worry, there's another episode apparently planned for the spouses coming in for
Lord.
everybody.
I can't imagine. But let's see, what else can we talk about?
Let's see. How many babies do you guys have at home?
4.
Lord.
Too dang many. 4.
So, technicians will take any dog. Like, dogs come in
That's where
and
2
people are
are
like,
from.
oh, we want to, like, give them to rescue.
Or euthanize for no reason. Or,
Yeah.
you know.
9 times out of 10, there's a technician in the back who's like, oh, I have room for one more. Not that I need a dog.
Somehow.
It is I have room for one more. You already have
Somehow.
They
one.
don't really need the one
It
No.
just
more.
doesn't stop.
Yeah, that's 2 out of the 4 of mine are from those kind of situations.
Yeah.
My 2 are actually not.
Ugh.
I think I might be, well, you.
Yeah, you picked yours.
Yeah. I think, are me and Lily
Yours
the
fell in
only,
your lap. Yeah, you 2 are, I think,
only
some
2
of the
in the
only
clinic
ones.
that, like,
that
is
have
not a
actually took
rescue?
theirs.
They don't want to rescue it.
Maddie got Echo.
Oh yeah, Maddie picked out Echo.
But I'm saying, like, doesn't have at least one. That's
Yep.
a rescue situation.
yeah.
I did
Yeah.
have rescues. They recently passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
But,
I have my 2 rescues. Believe it or not, I got my Roddy from Craigslist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forget
Don't
that
know
you
how
have
that
him
happened.
too. I always think about Makima and Loki.
Loki.
well, that's because when he comes in, we all are trying to forget it. He's trying to murder us.
He's
so
doing
bad.
so much
He
better
liked me
now.
that
He did.
day.
Last time he came in, he did really well.
Yes.
The first time Naya ever brought him, he tried to murder everyone in the
Don't bring
clinic.
him again.
Granted, he was in pain, guys.
He was in
That's a little
pain.
more
But
understandable.
he was trying to murder
vicious.
people.
Yeah, he's vicious. That's
So
funny.
you have-
Self-awareness.
Yes.
At least you're aware. So you have a Rottweiler,
Great Dane.
Great Dane, and
I
a
still
little
don't
bit.
know what Makima is.
She's like a little pitty thing. She almost
Can
gives
we-
me like
all
greyhound, like
legs.
Italian
Yeah.
greyhound.
We
legs,
have-
I
The
think.
hair almost looks like Weimaraner.
Yeah.
She's just a Heinz 57. That's all she is.
Yeah.
But can we tell the story about Makima?
Oh, yeah. Go tell the story.
So there was one Friday night. Me and Naya were closing, and I can't remember who was up front. But someone had called in. They were
Last
in
minute,
town.
right
Yeah,
before
like
we
baseball or
closed.
something.
They were in town at Lake Point for a baseball tournament. And they found a puppy on the side of the road in Alabama.
On their way here, right?
On their way
yeah.
On the way here.
They kept the puppy all day, brought her in.
Try to take care of as much as they can.
Yeah, they did what they could for her, and then the old owners decided that, it was probably best that they found another home for her. Well, here comes Naya.
She's
Naya's walking down the street. She's like, oh my gosh. And she had been looking for a puppy.
I have.
And, Makima just kind of like fell into her lap. But that girl's funky.
She's, speaking of, I'm slightly regretting my decision now. That girl eats everything.
So you reached that point in her
Yes.
It'll get better.
the point of every dog owner. Yeah.
She's that dog that will come in eating 20 pacifiers. She eats everything.
Oh,
It's
she's
bad.
so bad. She's so bad.
I mean,
But she's cute though.
She is.
I can't say anything. My 10-year-old lab still eats hat bills.
Hats, yes.
It's just hat bills.
That is so crazy to me.
He just he got
tastes
one the other
right.
day. I can't explain it. So
The fact that he's passing all of it, like nothing's bagging.
He
Or
either
not.
throws it up.
Yeah.
I've done
Yeah.
X-rays. I've done all that. He
That's
never
impressive.
has anything.
That's very
But
impressive.
I'm not spending any more money on X-rays on it.
No. But no. It's just he will find a hat, and he will eat the bill off of it. He won't eat the rest of the hat.
So easy.
So it looks better without it.
The sweatier, the better.
Yeah, I guess so.
Especially when it's a brand new hat.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
It probably smells fresher.
When it was gifted to.
Oh,
By a certain
no.
It
You
was.
just left it for easy access?
No, I actually don't know how he got it. It's above where he could reach.
That's
Chancellor.
the scary part.
If there's one thing about Chancellor is that boy is like sneak, like
I can tell. I
Make
get
it
those
work
vibes.
somehow.
he's a thief in the night.
He was probably standing on your dresser or something.
Probably, like,
Right?
he's too big for his own good. I mean, he is a.
He's Eeyore.
The only
He
reason
is.
he doesn't weigh 90 pounds is because I do have to keep him skinny because of his hips and like how bad his hips and knees are and stuff.
He's using the advantage.
Because his like regular weight should be like between 80 and 90. He's hovering around that 75 right now,
Yeah.
Okay.
and stuff.
He's not bad.
But
though.
he eats like a hog.
Oh yeah, he eats all the
I
time.
bet. I
Yeah.
bet. Is he in a lab?
Yeah,
Mhm.
he's a lab golden retriever
There we
mix,
go,
but
yeah.
his dad. So when my dad went and picked him up, he saw the parents, and mom was just your basic golden retriever, 50 pounds, normal. Dad is a pure breed, like papers, everything black lab, who is 102 pounds,
Good lord.
not overweight.
Dang.
They don't know. They're literally like, the breeder's just like, we don't know.
So that's how he's able to get into hats somehow.
Yeah.
Because whatever that don't know part
Those
is.
good genes.
Yes.
Chancellor, when you look at Chancellor, you see the lab, and then when you see Ellie, you're like, oh yeah,
Golden,
you're
for
golden
sure.
retriever,
For
but
sure.
you're black.
Yeah,
So
I know.
how did
She's
that
so
happen?
cute though.
She's
So
coming,
you have two golden
yeah.
retriever
She's
labs.
coming here tomorrow.
Oh
She's
yay.
your donor dog.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's.
So you have two golden retriever labs. You have a pitty thing, a Great Dane, and a Roddy, and then you've got,
Australian Shepherd.
and she's crazy.
She's the love of my life. Shout out Nola. No, well, let's see. Let me backtrack. So, I wasn't originally supposed to get Nola. There was a puppy at Paulding County Animal Control, and he was a red merle. Like,
The
he
red
was so the cutest little thing you'd ever seen in your entire life. He was a red merle Australian Shepherd, and I was going the day to get him. The day, like, his hold was off. I was, like, the first one there. Like, they opened the doors,
No
and
one
I'm
I'm
like,
getting. Yes.
I'm here. Well, the second I walk in, there was another family already there signing the papers for it.
No.
That
So
sucks. I
it
didn't
was
know
that was a long day. I think I went to like 4 different animal controls. You know, when you look for the one and you feel you have that
yes.
feeling.
Mhm.
And I would have so loved to take that little puppy home. But
Aw.
I love a red merle, man.
We
for
went-
real.
and looked at all the other dogs. At the time, I could only get a puppy because I had 2 dogs prior to, and they did better with starting with puppies instead of just bringing an adult dog into the house. So after I went to Douglas County Animal Control, I got a text from a friend who had Australian Shepherds. And Australian Shepherds are like my breed. Like, I love them. Anytime I see one, I'm like, oh my gosh, I want one. And so my friend texted me and said, hey, there's this girl I know that has Australian Shepherd puppies. And she only had one left, and it was a blue merle, and it was a female. And I was like, say no more. But I was like, okay, I just want to see a picture. Well, then I saw a picture of Nola.
She's very pretty.
And I was like, I'm going. So I drove almost 2 hours to Alabama, went and met this lady in a CVS parking lot. She's very nice. And it was history. I mean, like the second I saw Nola's picture, I had that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And then it made it even better when I picked her up and had her in my arm. Like, the first, 5 minutes just of me and her were in the car, and she tucked her nose into my shoulder, and I was like, this is my dog. and then it was the fun game of, well, what are we going to name her?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But her full name is Nola Gray. A part of it is from my grandma being from New Orleans. And then there was something I saw one time with the gray, and I was like, yeah, that's
Gray.
it. Nola Gray. I love it. Maybe it was Meredith Gray.
You're doing a little something else.
Maybe it was Meredith Gray.
Okay.
Shout out Grey's Anatomy. But yeah, that's the story on Nola.
And then we have Fennel.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
I love Fennel.
So I have 4 technically, but sometimes I don't claim the other 3 because they're bad. But I have 3 pit bulls and a blue heeler, which a blue heeler is what one of those breeds I swore I would never have. Now I want 100 of them. Before I worked here, my sister was working here, and it was a Saturday, and I was working at my previous clinic, and we closed at 12 here, and at my previous clinic we were open until 4. It was awful. And my sister calls me, and I'm like, So I answered. I'm like, hello, I'm at work. What do you need? I'm busy. It's a typical Saturday. And she's like, so there's this puppy here, and I don't want to see it get euthanized. The owner that brought it in doesn't have any money.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. Talk to you later, kind of thing. And I get off the phone, and I'm like, what did I just do? Because she's like, okay, I'll bring it to you when we close at 12.
You're like, wait a minute, wait.
And I'm like, cool. And then I'm like, what have I done?
Yeah.
So she brings me this lateral, white gummed, tiny blue heeler that's 16 pounds and should be more like 25.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, I've done it this time. I've really done it. She needed a blood transfusion. Her PCV was 6. She had hookworms and every other intestinal parasite, but hookworms were the worst. I still have a picture of the microscope from her fecal. I'll have to show you guys later. So she brings her over. My doctor's like, oh my gosh, Kayla, what have you done to me? It's Saturday. I'm like, she's fine. She can wait a minute. We can do this. She went in a kennel. We had her on fluids because they already had her on fluids here. And every person that walked by on Saturday was like, is that dog okay? I'm like, yeah, no, not really. She'll be fine. So then the doctor I was working with at the time and myself and one other technician a couple hours later were like, okay, let's do this blood transfusion.
Mm-hmm.
I had to call Megan and say, hey, we don't even have the stuff to do this. Do you guys have anything over there that you could go back to work and bring me? She's like, yeah, I'll get it to you. So the 3 of us opened this textbook because the doctor that I was working with had not done a blood transfusion since she was in vet school, which she's been out of vet school for 20 years or something crazy.
Jeez.
So we're all crowded around this textbook going, yeah, you think this is what we're going to do? Yeah, I'm like, let's do it, guys. We got this. We got this. So that the other technician that I was working with had already called her husband and was like, hey, bring our dog. She's going to donate blood. She brought her. So we did it. And a couple days later, she was doing better. She still wasn't great. Her PCV had come up. She was normalizing some.
Mm-hmm.
And Dr. Chase also worked at this clinic with me at the time. And she looked at me and goes, you might have to take her to the emergency clinic and get her typed And I was like, I can't afford that. Are you kidding me? Luckily, like within the next 2 days, she had like really perked up and everything was sort of back to normal. So yeah, that's how I ended up with fennel. Fennel, not fentanyl. Fennel like the fennel like the seed or the plant or fiend,
So you
whatever.
put all that work into her. There's no getting rid of her.
Oh yeah, I spent before my discount $3,000 I think in the first 2 weeks of her life because she lived there for about a week and a half. Because
That's not
if
even
I would-
including the exploratory you had to do.
about 2 years ago. Yeah, so that was 2020, August of 2020, and then like it was like 2 years ago, right?
A year and a half.
A year and a half, 2 years ago.
Wow, it's been that long.
Yeah, I was dog sitting, and she goes with me to this house because the dog I dog sit is her boyfriend, and
We love
he is like a 100-pound lab, and she is like a 35-pounder.
Yep.
On a good day, she beats him up. She whoops
I
him,
love that.
and he takes it like a champ. She pulls on his face, and she bites his ankle, and he puts up with it. So we were there, and I was feeding them breakfast. I handed her her bowl, and she just laid down. And I was like, oh, no, here we go. And she was a chronic like GI upset dog. She always had diarrhea, and I was always like, hey doctor, can I get some Proviable? And I promise if it doesn't get better, I'll bring her to work with me. Okay, Kayla. I'm like, she just had an exam like 2 months ago. It's fine. So I was like, come on, Fennel, you can eat. It's okay. And she just looked at me like with this like, if you tell me to eat again, I will kill you. Look. I was like, crap. So I took her to work with me. We did blood work. It was normal. We did x-rays. They were a little sketchy. So they're like, let's do a barium study. I'm like, cool. Awesome. I can do that. So I force fed her the food with the barium in it because nobody likes it. Same thing with charcoal. She ate it, and after 3 hours, it hadn't moved out of her stomach. So the doctor was like, okay, let's cut. And I was like, great. So we did surgery. It started at closing at 6 o'clock.
You were there till like almost
I was there till
midnight.
like 11 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
So I monitored my own dog, and because nobody else was going to stay that late for my dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, the doctor did it out of the kindness of her heart, and I appreciate her for that every day. But yeah, we did the surgery. She gets in the stomach, and she's like, there's nothing in here. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? I knew it. I knew this was going to happen. Of course it's going to happen to me. So she calls a couple other doctors. She's like, I've got my finger in her pylorus. It doesn't feel like it's closing. So long story short, Fennel had a negative exploratory. She's got slow gut motility. She's on metoclopramide. And she's got, they think, maybe food allergies too. So she's on Ultimino. So she is the world's most expensive dog. And I hate her, but I love her so much. She's so bad.
It's like Dr. Nelson says. Sometimes you gotta have a negative exploratory just to
You
release
gotta
the
let
demons.
the demons out. Exactly. And I was like, why did it have to be me? So there was like $2,000 more before my discount.
I remember that day very clearly.
I was stressed out.
I was off because I think it was a Wednesday,
Mhm.
and typically I was off on Wednesdays. And I mean, I was talking to Kayla that morning. Everything was fine and dandy.
Mm-hmm.
But then lunchtime rolled around.
Then it wasn't fun and dandy.
We did a barium study, and it's not passing.
Mm-hmm.
It
And
didn't
then
move at all.
about a few hours later, her lovely boyfriend at the time, now husband, called me, freaking out. He's like,
He's gonna die.
He's like, I can't ask
I forgot.
Kayla.
He does not like all
No.
that.
No, he doesn't like all that stuff.
Does not.
But he was there when we did the surgery. He watched the whole
Oh,
He called me.
what?
thing. Yeah.
He called me. He's like, Kayla's getting Fennel ready. And I don't know what's gonna happen. Is she gonna die? And I'm like, buddy, it's okay. Breathe.
As much
Like,
as
we
he tries to not like her, he loves that dog.
Oh yeah, those two are like best.
She loves her dad.
Always does. You can gotta get his point of view when we go.
We will. We'll get
Gotta
Jacob
remember
on
this
here.
story.
You can always tell Fennel, where's your dad? And she gets that little shake going, and then the tail's just
She
going.
loves her dad.
And oh, dear boy, oh boy. Just wait till you see when she gets excited and then he's there and she'll get the ankles and then she jumps on him and
He's an ankle biter for sure. I can't train that out of her. You can smack, you can yell, you can
Do as much as you
swat
can.
at, you can scream. It doesn't help. So I just embrace it. It is what it is at this point.
I feel that.
He's such a
Completely understand
nuisance.
that.
Well, the biggest takeaway from all this, from the four of us, is we
Always
all
say
like
no.
crazy breeds because we're all technicians. Because you got Kayla with the healers, Lily with the shepherds, Naya with the Rotties, and then me with my huskies and healers and stuff. Even though I don't have any right now, I will. Because I feel like that's like every technician I've ever met.
Yep.
I never meet a technician that's like, oh, I just like want some labs or something like that. No,
Right.
it's like I want
It's always some crazy breed.
Yeah.
huskies, or I want healers, or I want German
What's
short-haired
those
pointers.
Irish wolfhounds.
Or, yeah.
I want an Irish
I
wolfhound.
want one too, though. I'm not gonna
Cute.
lie.
Except that they're big.
They are
They
cute.
are. I love how huge they are. And the cane corso. I want a cane corso so bad.
I don't
No.
like any massive breeds. Had a massive growing up. Didn't like it.
Oh
No.
man, are you guys firm believers that the pets look like the owners?
Does Fennel look like me? She got a little pointy face.
I'm a firm believer that pets can reflect the attitude of their owners.
Yes.
That's what's wrong with Fennel.
Yes. I've seen a few come in that did look like the owners.
Yeah,
There are a
sometimes
few.
I do see that.
Hmm.
I do see that.
It's kind of weird.
It is
Kind of
weird.
scares me out.
Why do you look like that? Why do you and your dog look like the same?
especially doodles with their eyes.
Oh,
yeah. Doodles
they
have human eyes.
creepy.
It is creepy.
Oh my gosh! And they get there's this one doodle.
Especially if they have like the dark brown eyes. Like,
On TikTok, and it's a white hair doodle, and mom dreads the hair, so he
Oh
gets his
my
hair all
gosh.
rock
So
style.
he really
and
looks
stuff.
like a human.
Yes, I'm like whoa.
I couldn't own a doodle.
No. That is like the one breed.
I know I said I wouldn't own a healer,
Something a big nose.
I
and now I
can't
have
own.
one, but I will.
Stupid as
I want-
Mark my words.
I want a red Tibetan Mastiff.
There we
Tibetan
go.
Mastiff.
See?
Oh, we
my
used to have one that
goodness.
boarded over there. He was huge and scary, but I loved him.
Oh, man.
Like they're just huge teddy bear looking things.
Yeah.
Like I want one.
But they're so slobbery.
If I
Yeah.
had it my
Like
way,
boss?
and all three of my fellows can attest, I would have a whole zoo full of dogs.
Same.
I mean, I think we all would
Yeah.
just fill
I-
a farm with dogs and call it a day.
I want some goats too.
Oh man, when we neutered those 6 goats, I fell in love.
I was having
I
a
want goats
heyday.
now.
I was like,
Yeah.
it smells
I
like
like
goat
goats.
in
Yes,
here.
I want to go.
Kayla has a pet goat.
I do. He's made of
Steel.
stainless steel or something. His name's Earl.
Earl. And we're
And
gonna
he hangs
get
out by the bar.
and we're gonna
Yeah,
get a
that-
female and name her Pearl.
Earl.
Pearl.
Yeah, I do have a
Earl.
goat. I don't have to feed him. It's the best pet ever.
They don't beg.
For-
They don't talk.
For your information, obviously Earl is not real.
Yeah, I kind of got that.
Earl
I
is
just
like
made the
metal
steel.
and
I was like, is he
Yeah.
like X-Men?
he never
Am I
does
missing
something.
something?
He doesn't move. I told him to stay. He stayed.
He's the best boy
best
ever.
pet ever.
Oh man,
I love Earl.
You got lucky.
I love Earl.
No,
No.
I do want to go.
I love
There's a lot of
And
people
maybe
here.
a pig.
There's a lot of people here at this clinic though that'll own like farm animals.
Oh,
And
yeah.
We used to have chickens.
stuff,
Never
yeah.
Oh,
again. I
yes.
hate chickens.
I want
I'll have chickens.
horses.
I don't want a rooster.
I want
I don't
horses, cattle, pigs, donkeys.
My
goats.
phone is just enough of an alarm clock. I don't need a rooster.
Cows
I
and
don't
goats
know.
are my
I
favorite
don't know.
for
Yeah, I was
sure.
gonna say maybe a cow. I don't know. I like the little. I forgot their names, but the small
Mini
cows.
Highland
yeah.
cows.
Yeah.
Oh,
I want
I love
that
Highland
one
cows.
so bad.
Jacob tells me no all the time. I'm like, you don't tell me what to do. I'll get what I want.
We have Papa's approval.
That's okay. I'm gonna start a betting thing on who at the clinic's going to be the first one to get a mini Highland cow.
Yep.
Oh, just
Yep.
you wait till I
Listen,
have
if-
my own house this coming up year.
Yeah.
It probably will be Lily.
And if I had a fenced-in yard, you best believe I would already have something.
Or,
Or I have a fenced-in backyard, but if my whole property was fenced in,
yeah.
but I kind of live on a hill. James like, a cow shouldn't live on a hill. I'm like, well, goats can live on a hill.
See,
Why
the
can't
one
we
or the
have a
other.
I'm fencing in the property. You bet. It's happening.
No, I'll have chickens because I learned from a friend of mine how to build like just a completely automated chicken coop. Like water and feed, all that stuff. It was done. All he had to do was go out there and just grab the eggs
Yeah.
and call it a day.
That's
I'm
the
like,
worst part.
with
When a
that.
chicken pecks
I'm
me,
gonna need
I'm
help
trying to
with
fight.
Yeah.
Don't peck me.
But
That's
are you
just
gonna be
rude.
like Dr. Chase and have turkeys?
No, we
They
had
creep
turkeys.
me out.
We had turkeys at the
No.
same time we had chickens. And like 3 or 4 turkeys. They didn't last very long.
no.
One flew up and was sleeping in the top of the coop. I think it was one of the turkeys. And tried to come down, got his leg caught, and
Yeah.
broke his leg and was
Ooh.
kind of like dangling. Yeah, so I was
Ow.
like, no, turkey are too dumb.
No.
Well,
Too
I didn't know until the other day when I was talking to her and stuff that turkeys don't live long.
Mm-mm,
They have a
don't.
lifespan of like 2 years.
Yeah.
If they make
That's
it that
crazy.
long.
I didn't know that.
That's
Especially
too
like
quick.
domesticated ones.
It's
In the
very
wild,
quick.
I think Jacob said they could do like 3 or 4 or 5 years or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. But
So,
yeah, they don't live very long. They're
do you
dumb.
think when the White House saves the turkey, they just wait like until their lifespan's almost up, then they slaughter it,
Probably.
just
Let's be
rotate
honest.
Fair.
their turkeys.
Let's be honest.
Spare the turkey. Oh
Yeah.
Lord.
They ain't saving no turkey.
Oh man, I used to have a weird obsession with the fennec fox.
Yeah.
The little tiny foxes. I don't know why.
Okay.
They're so cute.
What is one animal that you
Like-
normally couldn't, like you
Like a
legally you
wild
couldn't
animal?
have,
Mm-hmm.
but you would have if you could?
I have two.
I want a red fox
Ooh, yeah.
or a red panda.
Yeah, they're cute.
Those would be cool.
Mine's is hyenas or a mountain lion.
Why hyenas?
I don't know. They're so interesting looking to me.
I feel like that
They're
would be
cuddly.
so
They're
annoying.
so cute.
Have you seen The Lion King?
I mean, I do know they're cuddly and stuff. I've heard that.
I
about
stay
them, but-
laughing, so
mean,
we
that
just
is-
laugh together.
That is true. Naya and her sense of humor,
She
like it would
always
just
giggling.
We're gonna have a count. We're just gonna have like a side count on throughout all the podcasts. How many times can we hear Naya laugh?
Cackle.
Cackle.
Mine would be a jaguar, and the only reason is have y'all seen that TikTok account with the Rottweiler and the jaguar that's grown up together
and they're best
stuff?
friends.
And they're best friends.
It's
The
so
other
cute.
day-
It's adorable, and they play together.
Yes, in the snow and
I
all.
feel like it's gonna go south real bad.
The other
One
day,
day.
I get a random text message from Elijah, and he goes, "Can we have did you say a puma at first?"
No,
They're like leopard.
I was like,
might have been a
"How-"
bobcat. I
Yeah,
don't know,
there
I
we
can't
go.
remember.
Bobcat mountain lions.
Or no,
are
it was a
like-
puma.
Bobcats
Yeah,
live in my
he was
backyard
like-
rent free.
and then-
Puma's what I mean. I said a jaguar. I meant a puma.
Is it a bobcat?
And then he
don't
sent me
know.
this
Yeah, the
TikTok.
little-
He sent me a TikTok of this puma, like a baby, like cub or whatever you want to call
But they're
it.
so stinking
Well, it's
cute.
vicious.
They play together. It's
Yeah,
They are the
adorable.
best
It's gonna
couple
go
ever.
south.
No,
It's gonna go south one day. I can already feel it.
I love
Just
watching them.
Just like people who own. That's why it's illegal to own certain things. Because one day they're gonna turn and eat you. Like the Grey's Anatomy episode, the lady owns the lion and eats her. That's
okay,
real.
Look,
Or tries to eat her and her boyfriend. or
I
whatever.
support letting them out in the wild, but then also like establishing a relationship to where you can still see them
I would have a
and
wolf.
still have a
My
nice
grandma
little-
did that with
So,
wolves.
okay,
Yes.
funny story. I don't think my dad has told you this yet. They owned a wolf, kind of.
a hybrid.
No,
Oh,
full-blown wolf. Never like on paper owned.
no, thank you.
So
It,
kind of.
they lived in Roswell back before Roswell was what it is now. And yeah, like back when it was still woods and stuff. And there was this wolf that lived out back behind the house. And Papa used to, it never came inside the house, but Papa used to put food on
Just
it, the
raw
dog food
food?
on the back mold. And he'd come up and he'd eat and he'd lay next to my grandfather on the back porch with him, and he would sleep on the back porch. He never came in the house. But he laid on the back porch and everything with him.
That makes me feel sad. I feel like the pack probably didn't want him. Alright, so last question I have for you guys is, what is your way to release, like, relax and everything after work?
I ride home in silence most days.
Okay, yeah. There we go.
Okay, but you also live 15 minutes away.
Not even like 8.5.
To ride in a
Ride
car
in
with
silence.
Kayla is like to ride in your thoughts.
Hey, and then what did 21 Pilots say?
Yeah, I ride home in silence a lot of days, and then I don't realize that I've been in silence until I pull in my driveway, and I'm like, Wow.
How did I
Us
get here?
cancers are that crazy. As cancers, we don't stop thinking
Like,
about the
how did I get
craziness.
home?
Yeah. What do you do?
I mean, I think for me, it's just like I like to get home. I especially like it to if my boyfriend is there, to have my dog. You know, just like the. Right now, we're addicted to watching Landman. It's pretty good. You know, and then of course I always have to watch my like kid Nickelodeon shows.
We were talking about that though.
Yes. Listen, going back to the old like
It feels comfortable.
Yes.
It's nostalgia, man.
I've done that
My thing is picking up my kids and just hearing them go back and forth cracks me up. I mean, like,
So
how
you
did
like
you
the
learn
chaos.
that? Yes, it's amazing how much kids pick up that you don't realize that they're picking
before.
up.
Well, they're always listening.
Yes,
Even
they
if
are.
they think you think they're over on the other side of the room playing with their toy, they
No,
listening.
they heard it.
They're listening.
They heard
What
it.
about you, Elijah?
Depends on the day.
Yeah.
Like there,
I agree.
most days I would say like, go home, chill with the girlfriend, get some food, all that stuff. But there are some days where I'm just like, I need to like put headphones on, play video games, listen to music, and just like,
Don't look at me. Don't talk to me.
Don't kill my
Yeah.
butt. Don't kill my butt.
yeah, just like,
Exactly.
Like you can tell when Elijah is in a I just want to game with
Oh
the
yeah,
boys
he
mode.
gets very quiet.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny because, you know, I'll be like, all right, and I'll find something. Probably Roblox. But then, like, when he's like, oh, let's do something together. He's like,
back out, yeah.
yeah.
If you didn't already pick up, Lily and Elijah are dating.
I was just about to say.
True, we have been like just casually,
Just
but
waiting for it.
yeah. But no, I mean it depends on the loud music on the way home.
I knew it.
I
knew you were going to say
cannot-
that.
Yep.
I cannot do like quiet when it's the summer, windows down, cranked up, loud music on the way home, and that is how I transition from being at work to being at home.
So, on the way to work, we don't speak to each other. It is music, and I'll be like,
Yeah.
you okay?
I'm not a morning
It's
person.
because I'm
You
half
good?
asleep.
Do
Yeah,
not talk
that's
to me in
me
the
too.
morning.
Yeah.
It is
I
on.
got
It
the
has
music.
nothing to do with anyone or anything. It is because my brain is still like
Processing that.
processing that I'm awake, and it doesn't like finish processing until I hit the door to work, and I'm like,
Yeah. Oh.
oh
look,
yeah, I
bright
should probably like
lights.
turn it on real quick.
Yeah.
Even sometimes I'm like, dang, I cannot wake up today.
Yeah.
But no, there was
Yeah.
people who say good morning too early in the morning. I picture every way in my head like to kill them. Like I can't.
Is it a good
Well-
morning?
Please do not talk to me yet.
And I can't drink my energy drinks anymore.
Oh yeah.
Stone boy.
So yes, because of kidney stones, I can't drink my
Nelson
energy
call
drinks.
you again?
Stone boy.
Stone boy, that's
No,
what it
was
was.
something else. Is that Bible boy or something?
Oh, something like that, yeah. But I can't have like that caffeine anymore. So coming in and just drinking water, my brain's like, dude, you're not giving me what I want.
Whereas
Yeah, caffeine.
he deals
Yeah.
with a person that can drink 2 to 3 Heroes drinks in one day.
Which those are loaded teas also.
Yes.
Shout out
Support
Heroes.
Heroes.
Go support them.
Yes.
They're awesome. We love you, Miss Deidre.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know where she gets all her energy from. If
I would
could
say
just
she
have,
has
like,
the energy already.
If I could just have like a fraction of it.
She
But
makes me
then
crazy
if I
sometimes. More
if I walk
spunky.
in and I'm all like, Erica, she's always the first one. What's wrong with you? If I'm not like,
It's usually
"Oh,
you
yeah."
walk in and you're like,
Yep.
That is not true.
No,
It's funny.
the second you hit that door,
If only Mitch was here.
the second you hit that door, it's literally like just a ball of energy is just coming inside. Like everyone else is just kind of like, like hey, all that stuff, and then you have Lily coming in, and it's just, bam, and they're all awake.
Wake up.
It's not that bad.
it's rough sometimes.
You have to
Shut up,
like
Lily.
once the morning meeting is over, then it's like, all right, I'm awake.
You're always awake.
You know what
You're
the, you know,
never.
you know what the name of this episode is?
What?
It's gonna be like squirrel talk with text.
Yes.
We just bounced around.
All over the place. Yep.
So
That's.
I know
the
Naya
ADHD
had one last question, but I have one last question, and then we can whatever. What is, to end it off, what is the most thankful thing you are from this field?
Ooh.
What are you most thankful for in this field?
Yeah, like what is your biggest takeaway?
Well, what's your
from-
answer? Give us a second to.
So for me, I have met my bestest friend of entire life. Like I don't know where I'd be without this girl, and if you can't tell, it's Kayla. And then I've also met, you start a new job and you get a boyfriend, and so I have that as well. But like just the people here, I've definitely found a great group of friends, and my best friend and boyfriend, and yeah.
I think for me, like, I can attribute the friends and the girlfriend and all that stuff to the place I work at, but I would say for the field as like a whole, it can be extremely rewarding sometimes. Because I have days where I go home and I'm like, wow, I just did that.
Yeah.
Wow, I just saved this dog's life. Wow,
Yeah.
I just did this and everything. And there are days where you go home and you're like, today wasn't about the money. Today was very much just about what needs to happen, what needs to do to save this pet's life, or to treat this pet and all that stuff, and everything. And those are the days that I'm like, this is why I love what I do. Because obviously it's been talked about before, all across podcast news, everything like that, how high like the depression rates and all that stuff are in the field, and it's very bad. So the moments where you have good days like that, which like we've said are kind of more often here than we've all have experienced, it is very, very rewarding.
Yeah.
And like let alone today, we had 3 cases that weren't supposed to still be breathing, and
Here they are.
they're all still here, and it's very rewarding. You have your good and bad days. That's what I tell a lot of people.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
like, how do you do it? And I'm like, in a bad way, you get used to the bad, but when you have those good moments, it's...
I think what this field's taught me is I'm always a chill, quiet person in the first place, but it taught me to be humble. Because hearing our client stories and then seeing that things can actually happen, it's not just stuff you hear about, or it's not just make-believe, taught me to be humble and just have gratitude for the things that you can do, and it's a really nice feeling.
I don't know 100% like my answer, but like I kind of agree with all of you in like different ways. Like sometimes it's really rewarding, and the people that you meet and your friends, and not my significant other, but like you said, friends and stuff. I don't know what my number one would be though. I'm not good at answering stuff like this.
Well, hopefully you have an answer in the next 10 podcasts.
I love that. That'll be next time Kayla's on here. First question we ask.
Yes.
But thank you everyone for joining today. This has been the Doghouse of Mills Animal Hospital. I should be posting actually our first recorded episode tonight, and getting that up, so this one won't be too far behind it. But you can find us at all of our socials: Facebook,
Instagram,
TikTok.
Check out our TikToks. Go look at my street tour at Marietta.
We'll get all the links up and stuff. As of right now, the podcast will be posted on Apple, Podbean, YouTube, and Amazon. Spotify's a little bit more tricky, but we'll get that eventually figured out. But thank y'all so much for listening, and y'all have a nice night.